Good evening and welcome to the show. Well, the Birds wrap up the regular season and run their record to an impressive 14-3 behind the backups and an impressive outing by Tanner McKee. With the starters rested and healed up off of a week of rest, we turn our attention to the playoffs. It's time for my breakdown. In a game that felt like preseason more than it did a season finale, the young reserves of the Eagles took center stage last week, and anytime you can beat another team's first-team players with your second and third-string players, you have serious depth, and the coaches have done a great job developing the said young players. The highlight of the day was backup quarterback Tanner McKee. Now, I thought Kellen Moore was getting a little bit pass happy with the young quarterback in his first start, but he went 27 for 41 for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, he was sacked twice, and 100 rating. That's pretty darn impressive. It was a sight for sore eyes to see Dallas Goedert back on the field as well, and McKee targeted him often and early. He had 4 catches on 6 targets for 55 yards and looked fantastic. Jahan Dotson showed that even if he was the invisible guy all year, he has potential to be a contributor when targeted. He had 7 catches on 11 targets for 94 yards and averaged 13.5 yards per catch. The run game was a little lackluster, but I believe that this game was more about finding out if Tanner McKee could be a future number 2 more than anything else. The backups on the O-line held their own as well. And on the defensive side of things, I saw nothing overly spectacular, but they played steady and got the job done. Drew Lock and the Giants offense presented not much to worry about, and the Birds D-line held the Giants to 100 yards rushing on the day, right around their season average. The defense also limited Drew Lock to 138 yards passing. He went 22-29, had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Linebackers Oren Burke and Jeremiah Trotter led the way with 17 and 11 tackles respectively. And Sidney Brown was all over the field like a heat-seeking missile. He also logged his first interception of the year. I'm nothing but a bit concerned about Jake Elliott. He missed a 39-yard field goal, albeit in 20-mile-an-hour wind. His season has been a little un-Jake-like, and he's only connected on 1 field goal of 50 yards or more this year. But I believe that he's a pressure situation type kicker. When the game is on the line, he's at his best. As we look ahead to the wild card weekend, the starters should be raring to go versus the Green Bay Packers at Lincoln Financial Field come Sunday afternoon at 4:30. The Packers are a bit banged up. Starting quarterback Jordan Love sustained an elbow wrist injury on his throwing arm that may or may not keep him sidelined. They also lost Christian Watson to a season-ending ACL injury. Watson is their speed and deep threat receiver. While the Birds look to be at full strength with the return of Dallas Goedert, and the only question mark being, will Jalen Hurts clear concussion protocol, and how severe is Nakobe Dean's core injury, and will he be ready to go as well? That's my breakdown. Up next, the legend, Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins is in the house to talk about the Eagles' upcoming playoff match and a potential run to Super Bowl 59.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them, sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Most people don't know how to get the care they need. The experts at Stay at Home Care can help. Before choosing a caregiver or family member for your care, you need to apply for the home care program. The application process can be complicated. Stay at Home Care can help you navigate through every step. Once approved, your caregiver or family member will receive guaranteed weekly pay, a variety of medical benefits options, paid holidays, paid vacation, and overtime pay. Call Stay at Home Care.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone. And you'll get iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. Now with Genmoji. That's a value of up to $1,600. Only on Verizon.
Hockey Giordano, we understand the impact an injury can have on your life. Our experienced attorneys have recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we know we can do the same for you. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured at work, give Ponley Hockey a call.
Since 1893, Weber Display and Packaging has been Pennsylvania's leading manufacturer of corrugated packaging and displays. We're family-owned with 4 Philadelphia locations, 2 converting facilities, a warehouse, and a fulfillment center. Designed through delivery, we exceed customer needs. Weber Display and Packaging, our core values drive everything we do. Come join our team. Philly's beloved son, Eagles Pro Football Hall of Famer and founder of the Brian Dawkins Impact Foundation, joins the show now. B, the rubber meets the road, man. It's that time of the year. It's playoff time, brother.
And you know it. And you know it. And I can only imagine. Well, I don't have to imagine. I know what it was like doing my run and our run, not my run, but our run. You know what it was like doing your run. And I know it's even probably that much more explosive because of social media. The $60 million question is, if Jalen Hurts clears concussion protocol, after being out almost a month, what's the rust factor going to be like for him in this offense? You expect some rust, expect the offense to have to, I would say, some quick games, some running, right? Not necessarily a whole lot of stuff down the field right away. But then as the game continues to go on, hopefully he'll get back into a groove pretty quick and, you know, play some of the ball that is expected of someone in the postseason. Right. So listen, the Birds have some young players on this team that's never experienced the playoffs or the heightened intensity that comes along with it. If you could talk to them, what advice would you give them? Well, the first thing that I would say is you have a couple of guys in that locker room that has been on some postseason runs, right? And listen, I know that you have some young guys that have been in college that are in the pros now that have also been on some runs in college. It's a little bit different on this level, and you'll get a little bit more amped for the game. So with that extra energy comes the potential for mistakes to be made earlier. And so that would be the caution that I have for all of those young guys. Come up with different things that you're going to do early in the game for that extra energy. You know, mine was focus, dog. Make sure your eyes right. Detail your work. Dial in. These are things that I would tell myself early with that extra energy, because you don't want to make mistakes early. That's what often happens. Saquon Barkley has been the gas that's made this offense go primarily all season, with Jalen Hurts' legs and his arm in different situations. Put your DC hat on just for a second and tell me, how do you control this tandem? Man, well, first of all, you have to have, I would say, grown men up front to be able to handle the run without putting a whole lot of guys in the box, if you can do that, right? So that means that those cats up front have to be doing it. And it's going to be tough. Like, when I'm saying this as a defensive coordinator, but also recognizes that we have perhaps the best offensive line in the game of football. So I'm not saying that's an easy task, but that would be the thing that I would love to be able to do, to allow the front seven to kind of handle things so that we can play coverage on the back end. The other thing is that stout ability to hold on to your blocks, or not hold on to the blocks, but to hold your ground in the running game and then make sure tackles. So that would be one of the things that I would consistently be talking about, the defense, and limit the yards after contact. All right, so this defense, B-Dog, has, since week 6 has been darn near elite. They rank first in the NFL, but the playoffs are a different animal, as you know. What's the keys to their success and the first order of business they have to accomplish against this Packers offense? When you are playing a team like the Packers and they have all of these different elements of guys may not play, some guys might not be 100% healthy, what you don't want to do is exhale. That would be the other caution that I would call. Don't exhale. It doesn't matter who's on the field. They're in the wrong color, and they're going to get the same thing that anybody else would get. That has to be your mindset. I've had experiences in the past where it seems like guys have exhaled because they didn't have their best guy, or they didn't have everybody that we thought that they were going to have on that game day. So you do not want to exhale. So it's really going and taking the field, knowing that it's not about the other team. It's about what we're going to bring to the table, how we're going to go about doing our job, playing with one another, for one another, and detailing our work.
All right, so let's wrap it up with the Birds have almost seemed destined for this moment. They got playmakers on both sides of the ball. Give me your prediction and the score for the game.
They're playing at a completely different level right now. So I believe that the score will be kept down defensively. I can see them scoring no more than 13 points, and I can see the Eagles putting up at least 24 points. So I think that it's going to be a 28-13 game.
I got to get you on my podcast, 30 minutes, so we can really chop it up. So I'll be in contact with you. But listen, you know Philadelphia always love to hear from you, and they love to see you, man. I thank you and appreciate your time, my brother.
No, thank you for having me, as always.
All right, my friend. Coming up, Brad Feinberg joins us. He's going to give you the picks for all 6 games of Wild Card Weekend.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone, and you'll get iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. Now with Genmoji. That's a value of up to $1,600. Only on Verizon.
This is Parks.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you win. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parks, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a hospital bed.
Has a friend ever told you a story about an accident and someone says,
you should probably sue them.
forget your friend. Call Ponley Hockey Giordano.
We're an injury law firm that's recovered billions of dollars for our clients.
And with our vast network of attorneys throughout the country, we know we can do the same for you.
So if you've been injured in an accident, give Ponley Hockey a call.
One conversation is all it takes, and you won't pay a dime until we win.
Get peace of mind, Drive Certified at DavisCertified.com.
How do you make sure your next vehicle purchase is a quality vehicle priced right? Go to DavisCertified.com.
Every Davis Certified pre-owned vehicle has a 60-day, 2,000-mile powertrain warranty, plus 2 years of free oil changes, a 3-day exchange policy, and a free Carfax report.
Get peace of mind, Drive Certified at DavisCertified.com.
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. Give my guy Brad Feinberg a follow on X at Brad's Best Bets. Brad, it's that time of the year where the rubber meets the road, my friend. It's playoff time.
I can't wait, Seth. Should be an amazing week. A bunch of great games, 6 great games this week. Obviously, the Eagles being at the top of that list. I can't wait for it, Seth, and I think I have some good bets for everyone out there.
All right, so we're going to cover all 6 games. Starting with Saturday, the number 5 seed Chargers visiting the number 4 seed, the Houston Texans.
Seth, death, taxes, and the Texans play that early Saturday game, wild card game, because they're the team that seemingly the TV coverage cares least about. I love Harbaugh as a coach, Seth, but to me, This line is just too high. I do think the Chargers are the better team. I think they should be a slight favorite, but 3 is a little bit too rich for me. I think this game should be a 50-50 game. Give me the Texans, Seth, getting 3 points. I say goes down to the last possession.
In game 2, another AFC matchup, you got the number 6 Steelers at the number 3 Baltimore Ravens.
I like the Steelers. I think the game will be competitive. I expect the Ravens definitely to win the game, Seth, but getting 10 points with these two teams, I have no choice. And even that game they played last time, Seth, with the line was 7.5, until Russell Wilson fumbled at the 2-yard line, they were going in to take the lead. Pittsburgh late in the game, so I think it'll be a close game. Give me the Steelers getting the 10.
Game 1 on Sunday, you got the Broncos, the number 7 seed, visiting the number 2 seed Buffalo Bills.
My favorite way to attack this game, Seth, would be taking the Buffalo Bills in teasers. You can take them from -8.5 to -2.5 in a 6-point teaser. That would be my favorite way to bet this game. But for people who don't like to do teasers, if I had to pick a side in this game, slightest of slight leans to Bills with the number set, but not a game I bet.
The game of the week, the Packers visit the number 7 Packers, visit the number 2 Philadelphia Eagles here at the Link.
I question, it's funny, I saw a data set, believe it or not, when a quarterback is coming off a concussion, his performance the first game back has been drastically worse, which I did not know about. So that does scare me a little bit here. My favorite way to bet this, Seth, though, is not going to be the side, okay? I like the under. The under is sitting around 46 points right now, Seth. And I think the Packers team total is 20.5. I don't think the Packers get 21 points here. I really don't. I think losing Watson, not that he's great, but he was their biggest stretch the field kind of receiver, Seth. And I think they're not going to get their 21 points. And I don't think the Eagles are going to have a crazy amount of success offensively. My favorite bet here would probably be the Green Bay Packers under 20.5 points, their team total, and I like under 46 in the game. The side right now, man, Seth, really, really tough for me. Not going to play it. I guess slightest of slight leans right now to the Eagles. I think the Eagles probably win this one by about 6 or 7 points, but not a game I'm betting in terms of the side. And I also think Josh Jacobs goes under 75.5 rushing yards.
The last game on Sunday, you got the number 6 Commanders visiting the number 3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Look, Tampa Bay won 10 games. Washington, I believe, won 12. I kind of thought Washington was maybe 1 point better under neutral, maybe at worst even. This line came in at 3.5, and I know there's some injury questions with Jaden Daniels, the spectacular quarterback for the Washington Commanders, but I like Washington. You're getting 3.5. I think this is like a 50-50, going to be a really close game. You want to give me over a field goal with Washington? I'm going to take it, Seth. Look, Baker Mayfield's been terrific, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot of success passing the ball against the porous Washington defense. I don't doubt that at all. But again, 3 is such a big number in the NFL, Seth. You want to give me over a field goal with Washington? I'm going to take it.
And to wrap up the wild card weekend, you've got the Minnesota Vikings, the number 5 seed, licking their wounds on their way out west to take on the number 4 seed, LA Rams.
Again, I'm going to choose to believe the data of 17 games, not the data of that one game Sunday night where he was awful, and I admit it. He was awful, and there's no way around about that. He just did not play well. But Seth, I like them here giving 1.5 points. It's going to be between 1 and 1.5 against the Rams. I just think they're the better team.
All right, Brad, great stuff as always. Hey, listen, my friend, enjoy the Bahamas. And you know, like me, I know you just cannot wait for Saturday afternoon.
You're the best, Seth. I appreciate you. Good luck to everyone out there.
All righty, take care, my friend. Download the BetParx Casino app. Like me, you love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Coming up, my closing thoughts and predictions as the Green Bay Packers travel to the Link for a playoff matchup against your Philadelphia Eagles.
At Pond Lee Hockey, we're neither a pond nor a hockey team. In fact, I don't even know how to skate.
Cut.
We're the injury law firm that you want fighting for you.
With our vast network of attorneys across the country, we know the playbook on injury law.
It's how Pond Lee Hockey recovered billions of dollars for more than 100,000 injured and disabled workers.
And we know we can do the same for you.
So give Pond Lee Hockey a call. No other law firm will fight harder for you.
And you'll never pay a dime until we...
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your phone, and you'll get iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. Now with Genmoji. That's a value of up to $1,600. Only on Verizon.
And persistence. These are the values that drive us all at Ron Jaworski Golf. We strive to deliver outstanding conditions as well as playability for golfers of all ages and abilities. Our championship golf courses offer a variety of challenges, from a link-style walk along the river to an escape into the pines and everything in between. My team at Ron Jaworski Golf is committed to delivering memorable experiences every single day. See all we do at ronjaworskigolf.com.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them. Sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours.
Gentlemen, are you ready for a wardrobe update? Introducing Divine Nine's Custom Menswear, your clothier for truly unique, custom-made threads. With Divine Nine, you can design your own one-of-a-kind suit, jacket, slacks, shirts, golf pants, and shorts, perfectly handcrafted by our skilled artisans who will bring your vision to life. Prepare to stand out from the crowd with Divine Nine's Custom Clothier, official clothier of Seth Joyner. Custom clothing made for you.
This segment is brought to you by Verizon Communications. Welcome back. It all comes down to this: win or go home. The Birds have thrilled and had us on edge all season long. And after a Week 5 bye, the Birds have been on a tear, going 12-1 over the last 13 weeks. Every year is a new year, and teams rarely look like they did the previous year. The Birds are no different. Howard Roseman did the unthinkable, adding Saquon Barkley to this team, and he's altered how we expected this team to look in every way, and in a massive way. We knew Saquon was special, but no one saw 2,005 yards, 15 touchdowns. Jalen, AJ, Devontae, and Dallas has had to take a little bit of a step back this year because after Week 5, it was clear that this was a running football team first. Didn't mean that the rest of the stars on the offense wouldn't be a non-factor, but the way Saquon, the O-line, and Jalen had been running the ball all season, it became increasingly more difficult to move off of that mode of attack as the season progressed. Jalen's decreased numbers became a concern for a lot of fans and media, but when called upon to make plays in the passing game, Jalen and his weapons responded to the call. The offensive line played a significant role in becoming the #1 ranked run offense in the National Football League. They were dominant in every fashion and were rewarded sending 3 of their 5 starters to the Pro Bowl this past week. It could have been all 5, but certainly right tackle Jordan Mailata was left out, and that is a travesty. They grinded opponents' defenses down and imposed their will each and every week in amazement, and in my opinion, possessed the formula to make a run all the way to New Orleans. Defensively, we thought it'd take a little bit of time for the defense to come around, but it took new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio all of 4 weeks to establish this defense as one of the NFL's best. Questions loomed at every position. The front, led by first-time Pro Bowler Jalen Carter and company, dominated the majority of the season. Although the stats don't show it, Jordan Davis has been much better, and Milton Williams has vastly improved, along with the new additions of Jomo and Booker IV. The tandem of Sweat and Smith combined for 14.5 sacks. Not spectacular over a 17-game season, but serviceable. I felt the loss of Hassan Reddick would put this unit at a deficit, but they have held their own. The big surprise for me was the development of Nakobe Dean stepping up in a huge way, and the diamond in the rough find of first-year starter and first-time Pro Bowler Zach Bond. They provided stellar play at a position on this team that's been overlooked for well over 15 years. The biggest surprise were rookies Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, the first and second rounders who stepped in almost from day one and performed like seasoned vets. The return of C.J. Gardner-Johnson paired with Reed Blankenship on the back end have also been superb as well, tallying 10 interceptions between the two of them. The complementary nature of offense and defense bodes well for a Super Bowl run. Both units dominated the line of scrimmage, The offense eats up clocks and grinds opponents down, while the defense is top 10 in all phases and have posted 10 turnovers over the last 3 weeks alone. My only concern is a sustained pass rush when it's really needed. They will all need to turn the heat up for the playoffs. Special teams have been solid for the most part. Minimal concerns for Jake Elliott. He was 28 for 36 on field goals this year, 1 for 7 from 50 plus, and he missed 1 extra point. But the bigger the kick, the more money he's been, in my opinion. Next up, Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, who they beat in Week 1's matchup in Brazil, 34-29. Both teams look markedly different. The Packers struggle versus playoff teams this year, losing twice to the Lions, twice to the Vikings, and then once to the Eagles and the Bears, and finishing 11-6. When healthy and with Love playing well, the Packers offense can be a handful. They have 4 top-level wide receivers, minus Watson with the ACL injury, and no defined wide receiver 1, which means they spread the ball around and make it difficult to take any one wide receiver away. They also have a viable tight end in Tucker Kraft, who led the team in touchdowns with 7. Josh Jacobs can also be a problem if he gets rolling. He amassed 1,329 yards and 15 touchdowns on the ground and 1 receiving this year. Third downs will be critical to watch this week. The Pack rank in the middle of the road in third down conversions, so the Birds have got to get stops. The Packers' defense doesn't look overly impressive, but have improved over the last half of the season. They're better versus the run than they are the pass, but the Birds' offense should be able to remedy that by putting them in conflict with a well-balanced attack, implementing some play-action passes with some short to intermediate passes to stay ahead of the sticks. The link will be at fever pitch all afternoon to the Birds' advantage, and they say it's hard to beat a team twice in one season, but the Eagles are simply the better team. They're rested, they're healed up, and they should win this game. I'm predicting 27-21. That's the show for tonight. Check in next week as we hopefully post-view a playoff win and look ahead to the winner of the Commanders versus the Buccaneers in the divisional round. Good night, Philly, and fly, Eagles, fly.